Good morning, my fellow yogic travelers. I'm mighty glad to be alive today, and I hope that you are too, as we continue to live, laugh, love, learn, linger, live the life we love. It's Thursday, so I think that means it's a little story day, and I love these two little Zen stories that remind you about you have to come to the teaching open, and also you have to let go of your sense of self importance. So, in one story, the famous university professor with PhDs up the wazoo comes to visit the Zen master. And the Zen master, politely invites him in, draws some tea for him, starts pouring the tea into his cup and pours it over the top of the cup till it spills all over in the saucer and then all over on the floor. And the professor says, "What are you doing? Can't you see that my cup is already full?" He says, "You're just like your cup. You're so full of your own opinions that no transmission can happen." So the first import here is that you have to let go of your preconceived ideas and all the things you think you know in order for something else to happen. And since nature abhors a vacuum, if you empty out, it'll be a pregnant void, not a sterile void. Something will rush in. The second thing is the story is about this one guy who happened to be the mayor of Kyoto, and so he goes to visit the Zen master, and he hands the attendant his business card that says Itagaji, mayor of Kyoto. And so the attendant gives it to the Zen master, and the Zen master looks at him and says, "I don't know who this guy is. Tell him to go away." So the attendant goes back and says to him, "The master says he doesn't know who you are. You should go away." And the mayor understands what the message is. He takes a little pen and he crosses out mayor of Kyoto. He says, "Take this back to the master." So the master attendant takes it back to the master. He sees the mayor of Kyoto crossed out. He says, "Ah, Itagaji, just the person I wanted to see." So if you try to use your credentials and your labels or whatever to get any kind of leg up on the spiritual teaching, it doesn't work. As Don Juan says, self-importance has to go. And that's another kind of humbling experience that enables you to get the transmission. All right, so with that as my intro, this is what I want to say today. First, from the Awakening Joy series, I'm always talking about how do we awaken joy in our life. And even if there's a parade of unskillful actions that replay themselves in your mind again and again, even if negative thoughts attack you and try to drag you into the remorseless, bottomless pit of your own shameful actions, it's okay, because when you see how past choices have led you to suffering, pain, and misery, you're ready for a new direction. So, in a certain way, just being aware of that is a good sign, because it reminds you, I can't do what I did. I can't hurt myself or people the way I did in the past. And that's a really important thing to understand about your own personal affirmations, because you can choose anything to focus on, but whatever you choose, you're going to feed. And if it's negative thoughts, you have to understand pushing against them only activates it more. Do you understand that? You can't deactivate something by giving attention to it, because it activates it. So you activate something else, which is the positive way of thinking, and you practice that until it becomes a dominant vibration. Now, this is why meditation is connected in its own way to affirmation, because in meditation, you observe all phenomena. And what you first see is the first rule of the three marks of existence: impermanence, nothing lasts. It all arises and passes away every moment, moment to moment. So there's nothing to cling to. There's nothing to hold on to. So letting go is in tune with the flow. And as I say, it doesn't matter what you don't cling to, just don't cling. Let go a little bit of peace. Let go a lot of peace. Let go completely, complete peace. So says Thich Nhat Hanh. So when you meditate, you watch the way your thoughts bubble up. You don't add anything to it. You don't project anything onto it. You don't expect it should be one way than the other. You experience it fully, and then you watch it go. And you stay calm, detached, and a kind of microscopic noticing of what's going on. It's hard not to see which thoughts you're really putting your attention into, which one you're feeding, which one you're activating. And so as a result of that, you divest yourself of the importance of phenomena. And then that leads me to my last teaching for today, which is the cycles of competence. Whenever you're practicing any kind of physical discipline, something that you have to repeat and do over and over again, there's cycles of competence. I learned this teaching from Robert Moore, and he might have learned it from somebody else. And so the cycles of competence are unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and then unconscious competence. So that means, let's say, I like it, where you go to the first yoga class, you know, and you go through the paces, and then you're aware of like, oh, my body, I can't do this. I'm so stiff here. I'm so weak here. I'm so imbalanced here. And I wasn't even aware of it. Then you go home and the parent says, how was your class? It was great. I realized I was unconscious and incompetent. What? But then you realize that just the very fact that you became aware of your incompetence, you just like upgraded yourself. And now you're at the level of what we call conscious incompetence. Now, at least I know. And then as you continue to work on it, certain things actually start to become available to you that you couldn't have available before because you didn't work on it. So this is the level where now I'm conscious of my competence. And if you keep on going, you get to a certain place where it's on base brain. I don't have to think about it. Right? It's flowing naturally from you, like on autopilot. And then that's the state of what we call unconscious competence. So these are the disciplines that we work with. And it's really important to realize where we're not paying attention and where we don't feel we have a skill set. That's unconscious incompetence. But we work on it. Now we're aware of where we don't have our skill set. But now we know that. And then the more we work on it, the more it starts to fall within our control, our expertise. And then you can say we're much more conscious of our competence than we were before. If we keep on going, something happens, something gels in us. We don't have to think about it anymore. Now we're not even just practicing it. Now you could say we are it. We are embodying it.